Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first show of a brand new series hosted by me, Una. In this series we'll be taking a major political figure, putting them in the hot seat and asking them general knowledge about cannabis and also about their cannabis policy. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce tonight's guest on this first show, Mr. Gordon Brown. Come on down! You are the first contestant on The Policy is Right. Hello Gordon, thank you very much for coming and welcome to the show.
And we not only save the world...
Okay, leaving that aside for a moment, Gordon, it says here on my notes that you're the unelected Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Perhaps you could tell us a little bit more about yourself.
You are the devalued Prime Minister of a devalued government.
Excuse me, Mr. Hannon, please, no heckling from the audience. Thank you.
And we not only save the world...
Okay, well, let's get on with round one, shall we? So in round one, we ask you general knowledge questions about cannabis. Now, Prime Minister, for your first question, is cannabis a lethal substance, as you claimed a total of 3 times in a GMTV interview?
That it is an illegal and a harmful drug.
I'm sorry, Prime Minister, that's not the answer I have on the card in front of me.
And we not only save the world...
I'm sorry, Prime Minister, that is the wrong answer. The right answer was in fact no, cannabis is not a lethal substance. I would have also accepted for an extra bonus point that it's actually less harmful than many foods we commonly consume. Now, for your second question, is skunk part of the cannabis plant, as you also claimed in the same GMTV interview, or is it in fact a separate cannabis strain?
Let me be clear.
Of course, I'm sure everybody wishes you were.
And we not only save the world...
I'm sorry, Gordon, again that was the wrong answer. The correct answer is in fact that skunk is a separate strain of cannabis and not part of the cannabis plant. I would have also accepted for an extra bonus point each any of the other strains of cannabis that you could have named, such as Northern Lights, Ice and Satori. Never mind, on to your third question. Who, after taking over 2 weeks of medical testimony, said the words, "In its natural form, marijuana is one of the safest, most therapeutically active substances known to man"? I'm sorry, Gordon, I'm going to have to hurry you. I can give you a little clue. It was a Drugs Enforcement Agency's administrative judge.
President Obama...
I'm sorry, Gordon, Barack Obama is the wrong answer. The correct answer was in fact Francis L. Young. And for your fourth and final question, approximately how many different medical conditions would react favourably to cannabis? Now, you can earn a bonus point for each condition you correctly identify, and if you get 5 or more, you win a special prize tonight, this magical bottle of Stop and Grow. Should help you stop biting your nails.
Below 18.
No, I'm sorry, Gordon, the answer is actually 200. But for your bonus points and your possible bottle of Stop and Grow, can you name any of them?
I think ME or chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yep, that's 1.
Cancer.
Yes, that's 2. I'm sorry, Gordon, I can't give any more time on that one. I could have accepted, amongst other things, depression, arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Well, that brings us to the end of round 1, and you have scored a total of 2 points, but never mind, it's all still to play for as we head off into round 2. Okay, round 2, Gordon. This is where we ask you questions about your drugs policy and its effects. Okay, your first question. Who profits most from the government's drugs policies?
Terrorists.
Correct. Criminal and terrorist organisations now control a £300 billion a year market. The only market that's larger is oil. Okay, for your next question, where could that money be better spent?
MPs' allowances.
I'm sure you wish it could, Gordon, however that's the wrong answer. I would have accepted, amongst other things, healthcare, education and repaying the national debt. Okay, for your third question, what is the main problem with the government's anti-cannabis policies?
Is unacceptable, it is unlawful, but it is also harmful.
Correct. What does your anti-cannabis policy do to protect genuine medicinal users who find real relief from using cannabis?
Nothing.
Correct! Now, according to the Home Office, under the Misuse of Drugs Act, drugs that are considered dangerous or otherwise harmful are placed into one of three categories, A, B or C, broadly in accordance with the assessment of the physical or social harm caused or capable of being caused by misuse of the drug in question. If this Misuse of Drugs Act was applied to legal drugs as well, can you name one currently legal drug that would be considered Class A?
Alcohol.
Correct! I would have also accepted tobacco. That brings us to the end of round 2, and in that round, Gordon, you scored 4 points, a much better round. So Gordon, with a total of 6 points, let's head off into the third and final round. Okay, the third and final round. In this round, you will be asked quick-fire cannabis-related questions. You have to answer as many questions as you possibly can in the time we have remaining. And your time starts now. How long has cannabis prohibition been enforced in this country?
60 years.
Incorrect. The answer is 81. How many people a year die as a direct result of taking cannabis?
50,000.
The correct answer is 0. What drug not only causes huge amounts of harm to society, but can potentially be fatal to the user? Alcohol or cannabis?
Cannabis.
I'm sorry, Prime Minister, the correct answer was alcohol. Does your drugs policy prevent cannabis and other drugs being obtained by children?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Gordon, the correct answer there was no. Is a maximum penalty of 5 years a suitable punishment for sitting in your own home smoking a joint when recently a youth was handed an £80 spot fine for faking an RTA, wasting the time of 5 patrol cars, 1 ambulance and the staff at the local accident emergency department?
Yes.
Sorry, Gordon, the answer was once again no. In 1998, a UN convention met under the slogan, "A drug-free world, we can do it." 11 years later, has this statement proved true?
Yes.
The correct answer was no. Since that 1998 convention, drug use has actually risen by over 300%. Is there any evidence to support the myth? I've started, so I'll finish. Is there any evidence to support the myth that smoking or using cannabis will automatically make you use other and harder drugs?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Gordon. The answer is that there is no evidence to support the myth that using cannabis will automatically lead you on to other drugs. So, at the end of that round, and indeed at the end of the game, Gordon Brown has 6 points, which obviously means that his policy is not right, and therefore will receive the consolation prize of 240 volts. Now, why don't you join us next time when we'll be putting another high-ranking politician into the hot seat and trying to find out if their policy is right.